It's Wednesday.
Wednesday stole my car!
When your dreams are dead, become a necrophiliac. While WB shut down, Cartoon Network is building to save a buck short term, its legacy will live on. Like with tonight's game that stylistically resembles a show from the past. This is one of several games I covered in 2019 and have been tracking the development of for years. Which is why I, of all people, deserve a review copy of #BLUD, available on all these consoles and PC.
Welcome to #BLUD, a video game about social media, awkward high school dances, and a world-ending vampire apocalypse.
Smoke a bud, here comes Blood, a classic Zelda-inspired adventure, but with the art style of a 2000s cartoon. From a crew of 5 people, including 2 artists making over 200,000 in-game sprites, Blood looks so much like Powerpuff Girls, Teenage Robot, or specifically to me, Que Pasa, Wayside. As a new girl in school facing a vampire invasion, Becky Brewster must Metroidvania herself through a town, battling the undead and solving puzzles. It's a damn good, but not groundbreaking Zelda-like with a ton of the same elements: cherry bombs, grapple hooks, and an umbrella to shield yourself. Thanks to the interface, you never need to pause to switch out items.
Upgrade your weapons, skills, and exploration tools. The pencil is mightier than the sword, but not as mighty as a cherry bomb.
Instead of a sword, Becky's armed with a field hockey stick. She's a pro at the game. Some say she's the Wayne Gretzky of hockey. I say Wayne Gretzky once keyed my car outside of Howard Johnson's and no one believes me. Though, if I was doing a modern day Zelda game, I'd give the hero a board with a wooden nail through it. It's not the Master Sword, it's the Bastard Board.
I know that I'm new to the conversation, but it sounds like your idea is bad.
Now, there's no voices, so Magic Mush and Neon Caffeine will dub over the dialogue. The combat allows for cartoonish smacks wrecking these enemies. Some of the undead can block your default attack, so you need to recognize their weakness, or just bomb them. This Becky girl teeters on being a domestic terrorist at points. One of the more unique maneuvers is the dodge roll. First off, it has no invincibility frames beyond going under elevated objects, so you better actually dodge something. A few Steam reviews find this as an issue, but I think it provides a challenge. Second, you can cancel out of your dodge with an uppercut. While the hitbox feels smaller, it is stronger than your regular attacks, so you can risk rolling into an enemy's hitbox all for that satisfying uppercut. Some of the enemies will be shielded unless you uppercut them, so get that timing down. The combat works fine, but it's a bit stiff, as your long-winded strike poses can leave you open for a half second. So don't just hammer away. You can either see it as a challenge or wish there was a way to cancel out of an attack. Debatable. What I feel for sure was not a good choice is you get no invincibility frames after a hit. So if you accidentally roll under a boss, you can't move and will keep taking hits until you dodge roll again. It doesn't feel right.
Dodge roll, you idiots!
Well, good news. During my procrastination sessions, a patch has fixed up a ton of glitches in combat. Among the long list of tweaks on the Steam's forum page, your hitboxes on some attacks are larger, the getting hit animation is shortened, the dodge roll now phases through enemies, the select button is a dedicated map button, like they forgot to include that. You had to pause and scroll for it. Oh, and one reoccurring issue was when you pick up a key item or pull out the phone to pause, Becky stands in place, leaving her open to an attack. Now, the enemies also freeze. Along with the patches, there is DLC coming. Can't say anything though, I noticed the title screen has enemies I haven't run into. Guess they didn't finish their animations. It's their first game after all. Animated in Macromedia Flash. Yeah, not Adobe, Macromedia from 1999 they believe, and on a Windows Vista. What is wrong with you all? The boss battles really show off how bombastic the animations can be. The undead goat and the giant's chase sequence were both such a thrill, but I take issue with a few of the enemy strikes. While most attacks are telegraphed properly, some feel so random and abrupt that I just don't know how I was supposed to dodge it. Thankfully, I only encountered this in just a few times, and checkpoints are right before the battle.
Alright, you simps! Who's ready for some awesome hangouts?
You want another retro Zelda? Here's a pretty good, slightly unrefined attempt at that, except with way crazier bosses. Fun game on its own, but what greatly enhances the experience is, of course, the animation. If you're one of those unmedicated gamers who has to stop and talk with every single townsperson, here is your game. I spent a good amount of time doing just that. I had to pull myself away for the sake of recording HD footage, like, sir, you only got 20 gigs left on this laptop, get back to the main story. Your missions are cataloged on this Twitter-like social media app called Perch. Oh no, Blue Sky ain't working out, I don't need another one of these. An evil app run by a corrupt billionaire, and this game was in development since 2017. This may be a game about hunting vampires, but this Perch app is wildly unrealistic. Ain't no way a kid is gonna follow their principal on Twitter. Plus, this site is actually functional, there are no bots, and the evil billionaire is actually competent at what he does. I can't relate to any of this. But it explains the hashtag in the title. If you ever need a hint, you can read the replies to the mission posts. Some will lead the way, others are just fun to skim through. Though my C-student intelligence will sometimes get lost in these types of Zelda or Metroid games. But getting lost means discovering new uses for acquired abilities, so it's not all that bad. Now, you know how in a ton of 3D games there's a selfie or photo mode, Wind Waker HD, Spider-Man, or GTA? You don't get that in 2D games, or at least I thought so until BLUD did it. I assumed it was only for key scenes like the photographs in Link's Awakening, but no, you can take a selfie anywhere in this 2D game, and they'll often have drawn assets for the proximity of the location you're in. Take a selfie near a monster, that monster will show up and the photo will be cataloged in the enemy bios. Plus, the civilians will discuss the enemy within their social media. Depending where you stand, like near a storefront, that store will show up in the selfie along with the character nearby. It doesn't work on every landmark, and only one character shows up behind you with a default stance, but the effort put in is already so damn excessive, it's impressive.
Look at him! So fluffy and cute! Squirrely squirrel, I love you!
I could have sworn it was a dragon.
What, a dragon?
Yeah, dragon. Dragon D's nuts!
I've reported you to the principal, the pope, and the fish, and the wildlife office. Don't be a creep, man.
Local sports, the Paxton High School Knights are set to take on our very own Carpenter High Bulldogs this Friday under the lights. Come support your home team, Carpentersville.
Beyond 200,000 in-game sprites peppered through the story are 19 minutes of cutscenes animated by 2 people. That's practically a whole episode unto itself. They did everything to make this feel like the ultimate tie-in to a cartoon that does not exist, right down to the episodic title cards for each chapter. One of the episodes even takes place on Halloween with decorations through the town and their own Monster Mash knockoff. Now, the pacing of the story really gets going halfway through, where after a major event, we do a, quote, filler episode. There's some people who hate filler episodes in general because those people are human garbage. Can't a man just watch a self-contained episode getting to know the characters without some weirdo asking, what episode should I skip? I don't care you got 2 jobs and 3 kids, you're watching that Fly episode of Breaking Bad. Really endearing me into the story was BLUD's self-reflection so late into the game. After everything that's happened in this town and what this new girl has been put through, Becky changes how she treats those around her. It's a short episode, but the character growth here raises the stakes for the final chapter, which ups the pace using more frequent dungeons. So it's not filler, or maybe it is. Ignorance is bliss, and I'm a dumb slut. Cuckoo! Anyway,
say, upon finishing the game, by the end, it really feels like the big two-part season finale of a cartoon. Nearing the end of the game, shit goes down, and we're given moments for other characters to shine in such a satisfying wrap-up, only to find out, I'm in the credits? Yeah! Remember me talking about this and other upcoming games forever ago? Quick, think of another complaint to not imply some sort of bias.
Forgot to mention the hitboxes are a bit odd. If you happen to stand where an enemy spawns in, you'll get hit before you know they're there. I feel they shouldn't hurt you until maybe 1 or 2 seconds of appearing. That way you have time to react. Some choices really remind you it's a first-time game, like this brief block-pushing segment. This was my lowest point.
But I'm so fun of putting you on. But it's not fun when you don't play along. Drop to the pavement, knees in the ground.
So it's not too surprising BLUD started out as a cartoon pitch. Uploaded in 2017 was a concept trailer featuring Becky Brewster, originally named Becky Belmont, as a reference to the Castlevania vampire hunting family. She was still a school-age vampire slayer and brave noodle limb survivor. This TV series was named BLUD before everyone started saying, "Blood think he on the team, Blood think he on Cartoon Network, Blood show up when I cough." Oh no. Fuck. TV networks were not picking it up. Maybe it was too violent for kids while looking like a kid show. That and action cartoons barely existed at the time. Who knows? So the company Exit 73 Studios reworked it into an indie game. As 5 employees crafted their passion project on the side, they did commission work, such as the cutscenes to the OKKO video game, a Nickelodeon Baby Shark show, and also that one cereal commercial with the kid and the Hitler mustache.
It isn't Saturday? It's Wednesday.
Wednesday stole my car!
Yeah, not sure how that helps me.
Ooh, you just got served breakfast! Welcome to Saturday! Saturday! Dance party!
A bit of Saturday every day. Part of a good breakfast.
I hated that commercial so much and anybody that worked on it, until they made BLUD! 7 years after that pitch, BLUD was released as a tribute to your Dexters and Powerpuff. Even the map screen you'll be skimming through is a direct reference to this old map for the PPG. They totally nailed the background style. Cartoon Network needs to get these guys for a game. And what is this? Those stupid cylinders from the Fairly Odd Parents? I fucking hate that. Points for authenticity. Expect a nail bomb in your mailbox in 2 weeks. I ain't paying for express shipping.
We'll be back with more BLUD after this.
We don't want any.
Courage's Trick or Shriek Marathon will be right back.
Stupid TV.
Now, back to Courage's Trick or Shriek Marathon.
In modern TV and film, references can be overbearing, but they're infrequent in BLUD and are tastefully done. Often it's just dialogue for a random environmental prop or a kid misquoting something they probably saw on TV. In this campsite, there's a cabin similar to the impersonator of Scoutmaster Lumpus's cabin from Camp Lesbo. Finally, so often when I review games, I've deducted points because they didn't have a Camp Lazlo reference.
Let's show them how to have fun. Gangrene style.
Now, I think the most blatant homage is this one minor side character. That is seriously just Billy. Oh my god, Billy, they cured your gangrene! A shame the others weren't so lucky. Ace unfortunately succumbed to his disease minutes after filming his Gorillaz cameo. Nobody was present at his funeral. It only makes sense BLUD references the Powerpuff Girls. That show was great because it was edgelords straight out of college drawing children beating the shit out of grown-ass adults and monsters. Something all the reboots and anime kinda sterilized. BLUD is kinda like the Adult Swim Samurai Jack version of Powerpuff Girls, where it's sparingly more violent, but still could almost pass for kids' TV. BLUD has the right balance of cute, edgy, and wholesome with some horror movie DNA, like the town being called Carpentersville, as in Halloween, and the Thing director John John Carpenter. A deeper cut would be Becky's mentor, a janitor named Christopherson, kind of like the vampire hunter Blade and his mentor, Whistler, played by country singer Chris Christopherson. Love for the UPA revival era of animation is all over this game. A shame the title screen is just... feels more like a Steam banner than the title to set the mood. Guess they ran out of time. I say they could have used this looping animation instead. And the music's kinda mixed. The ambient tracks in the day are soothing while at night they go for that synthy Carpenter score. This would be a good game for October. I just wish during bosses the music was more intense. I prefer loud, Mega Man-esque battle themes over contemplative scores.
OMG, Dad! I told you I had cheerleading practice!
After taking 15 hours to beat the game at a casual pace and some wandering about, I mostly loved BLUD. The story had me laughing pretty often as the bosses were such a spectacle. As a 5-person team making their first game, it's a pretty good dungeon crawler. But at times, a couple of flaws remind you it's a first-time game. While Exit 73 Studios did commercial work on the side as they programmed the title, it wasn't until the final 2 years of development where they focused solely on this.
We really pressed the gas down on BLUD and turned down a lot of work. We really wanted to make this game the way we wanted to make it, and how we wanted to make it look. And when I have a PlayStation controller in my hand, or bring the Switch home and watch my son play my animation, that's a feeling I can't remember having since very early in my animation career.
When the sun goes down, evil rises up in search of one thing. Blood. Hashtag blood. Wishlist now.
Hey Tommy, guess what we're gonna celebrate this week here on Fridays?
Oh, I don't know, Zynga. Could it be Halloween?
Not only could it, but it is!
And just how will we be celebrating?
Well, how about brand new episodes of Codename Kids Next Door, Whatever Happened to Robot Jones, this week's new Duck Dodgers, and the broadcast premiere of Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampires.
Plus, some special appearances by cartoon guest stars in disguise.
That's this Friday starting at 7 on Cartoon Network.
That's Halloween.
That's right.
It's a zany action, a crazy contraption.